Good afternoon. This is Kevin Gilmore from the National Weather Service New Orleans Baton Rouge office located in Slidell, Louisiana. This is your weekly weather briefing for Thursday, March 26th. Starting off with a situation overview, all our key messages of what we can expect for the next 5 to 7 days. First of all, you probably noticed it's been very warm and nice these last several days, if not weeks. Really above normal temperatures we've been experiencing with highs in the mid 80s, and that'll continue today and on Friday. But with that, we'll have to watch for the potential for some dense fog area wide early Friday morning, but we'll talk more about that coming up. And then a cold front is going to sweep through the area Friday night and bring in breezy conditions during the day on Saturday and a slight cool down. We're talking about highs possibly in the mid 70s. But with that, we'll have to monitor for elevated fire weather conditions on Saturday due to dry conditions and gusty winds and low relative humidity with a fire weather watch in effect. Then maybe we'll see some isolated shower and storm chances on Sunday and could increase a little bit Monday into early to mid next week. And we'll talk more about that here coming up shortly. Here's a 7 day outlook of everything I just described graphically here, showing you the dense fog concerns on Friday. Not seeing any other types of dense fog concerns all the way through the middle of next week. Fire weather primarily is going to be on the day on Saturday, and that's going to be association with those gusty winds. Rain chances increasing a little bit there on Sunday, but more noticeable Monday through the middle of next week. And temperatures, you see they drop down a little bit with highs on Saturday in the mid 70s, but then warm right back where they were as we get towards the middle of next week with highs in the mid 80s and lows in the mid 60s. Here is a graphical representation of the dense fog advisory in effect for all land areas of southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. This is in effect from 1 a.m. through 9 a.m. Friday morning, so be very careful during your morning commute. If you happen to be driving around, be prepared for sudden changes in visibility. Slow down, increase your following distance, and use your low beam headlights. And here's another good graphical representation of the cold front that's going to be coming through Friday night and early Saturday. You see that the front's going to be coming in from the north and bringing some gusty winds overnight into early Saturday morning. It'll still remain breezy during the day on Saturday. You'll notice that it'll be a little bit drier, a little bit breezier, and not as warm in the afternoon. However, those winds will be pretty strong across marine areas where we will have a small craft advisory in effect from 4 a.m. Saturday through 4 p.m. Saturday. So mariners, caution is advised. And now the drought update. This is the drought outlook that is showing you the different levels of drought severity across our local area. There's last week's outlook and this week's outlook, and we see the two differences there. You've noticed that those higher drought intensity values have been spreading north, and that's because we haven't had much rain, if at any, in any parts of the area. So conditions are getting a little bit worse now when it comes to drought conditions. So with that is bringing the fact that there is elevated fire weather concerns. But even looking back, this is the departure from normal, what we normally should expect rainfall totals for this year up to this date. So starting January 1st through March 25th, you can see those pink colors means we're below normal. We are below where we should be this time of the year. Baton Rouge up to Macomb, you're near normal, which is some good news in those local areas. But surrounding areas, we're talking around 6 to 12 inches, nearly a foot of rainfall below normal for this time of year. So, given that, antecedent dry soils and vegetation will elevate the wildfire risk. And because of that, we do have a fire weather watch. Once that front passes through early in the morning, those gusty winds, low relative humidity, especially in the afternoon, and those dry soils we just talked about will lead to those elevated or critical fire weather concerns. So that's a fire weather watch in effect during the day on Saturday. So avoid open flames or sparks, keep vehicles off dry grass, and discard cigarettes properly. So keep that in the back of your mind during the day on Saturday. Again, we're not expecting these conditions to worsen or continue to the Sunday and through early next week as we get a little bit better moisture return across the area. And talking a little bit more about that isolated scattered shower and storm chances, this is the total rainfall for the next 7 days, all the way through, generally in the next 7 days, all the way through Wednesday, April 1st. And we see that, generally speaking, where we see those higher rainfall totals of around a quarter to nearing a half inch of rainfall is going to be where we're expecting the greater coverage or the chance for rainfall. It's going to be along and west of I-55, including the greater Baton Rouge area. It's not going to be an all-day washout each day, but you can't rule out a passing shower or thunderstorm each day, primarily in the afternoon hours, less in the way of rain coverage as we get towards coastal Mississippi. But again, just something to keep in the back of your mind that this is not a drought buster type of a rain or an all-day rain or heavy rain event, but a passing shower or storm could be possible at any point Sunday through Wednesday. There's a summary of everything I talked about. Again, we'll be watching the dense fog concerns early Friday morning. A dense fog advisory is in effect. Caution during your morning commute. Also, keep an eye out on Saturday. We have a fire weather watch in effect. So, exercise proper exercises. If you happen to be doing any type of outdoor burning, that's not recommended. Just given the fact these conditions are very dangerous, they could lead to fire spread. We could be upgrading this to a red flag warning in future updates. So check back. Again, this is primarily during the day on Saturday, and maybe we'll get some isolated showers and storms around Sunday through midweek, which will help us out a little bit. We'll take what we can get, but again, not expecting an all-day washout. And we'll end that briefing here. We hope you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend ahead.